Well, currently we have 24 murals in and around the community and are working to develop 4 new murals in the coming days.
Wow. And good morning, Ronnie. How are you?
I'm great.
I know
Yourself.
you're supposed to be on at 8:30. I didn't give you a chance to formulate everything.
Well, I'm at the age where my mind kind of is not in sync with my mouth.
I think we're of that
Or
same
brain,
age.
maybe.
Yeah. I think we're of that same age where you go to say one thing and go, that's not what I was going to say. But with the murals in town, some people know about them, some people have seen them and don't know a lot about them. The new one coming up is going to be down at the Punta Gorda Health Club.
That's correct.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're very pleased to announce that work is beginning within the next 2 weeks on our latest series of murals, which is sports memories that commemorate sports that have been used to develop this area, Punta Gorda specifically. As some of you may know, or some of you may not know, we are a 501(c), as Jeff has mentioned, with a mission to preserve history through the beauty of murals. And our focus is primarily upon the city of Punta Gorda. The panel that we were beginning work on is the sculling panel. And as mentioned, it's just the start of one of 4 panels that commemorate sports. Nevertheless, I guess I need to say that our work isn't done, and fundraising is continuing as we prepare for the next of the murals, tennis, and its role.
Ron, how did you happen to get started in all this? This is interesting to orchestrate and keep this thing rolling along.
Well, I have to say that I was inspired by a couple of people. Number one, Dr. Bob Armstrong, or Andrews, who was the founder of the association back in the early 90s.
Okay.
And Bob Armstrong, who is our past president, kind of invited me to a meeting. I've been a history buff all my life and was just inspired when I began to learn a little bit about the very rich history of this community. It's much richer than people know.
I just found out something here. In the sculling, Tommy, mural, you're going to see the 3 champion scullers that did a race back in 1888.
1888?
Yeah.
Ooh,
but,
wow.
but in the background of the mural is going to be a ship that was in the harbor called the Oriole, which was the only ship, I don't know if it was the only ship owned by Caldwell Colt, but he's the only son of the inventor of the Colt revolver.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that. I mean, we've got so much history down here.
Well, you do, and when you begin to think about the attraction to those of extreme wealth to this area,
Sure.
back in those early days, the Vanderbilts, the Carnegies, many of the movers and shakers of industry.
Well, Edison and Ford. I mean, they're all here. Teddy Roosevelt is rumored to have been here fishing and everything else at one time.
Absolutely.
Well, they say Rotunda was once the hunting grounds for the Vanderbilts out on Boca Grande.
It could well have been, because certainly he could claim any area he chose.
Exactly correct. But you're also going to be there's going to be one on hunting, and
Yes, and I want to really move on to announcing something that's really unusual, and that is that we're planning a tournament of murals hosted by the Punta Gorda Club March 9th and 10th this coming spring. And it is a tournament for all levels of players from 3.0 level through advanced. And the kicker in this is 2 of the men's and women's division winners from the 4 levels will have a chance to have their faces in the tennis mural. Mark your calendar now.
Yeah. Great.
That's kinda neat, you put the faces on the murals.
Yeah, we really haven't engaged in that kind of thing in the past, but it's an incentive and it helps people really become more interested and embrace some of our rich history.
When you find a building that you would find appropriate for a mural that's owned by, say, somebody up north,
Yes.
how do you approach these people and say, this is what we want to do? We want to power wash your building and we want to put some faces on it. What is their general reaction?
Well, the general reaction is one of, hey, that sounds great,
Yeah?
or I have other
Other plans?
intentions.
Yeah, okay.
But that's an interesting point that you raise, and that is that before we start, we always have a venue in place.
Okay,
And we have a licensing agreement with the building owner
okay,
to ensure that we can have a successful project.
there you go. And then once, of course, once the owner of the building says, okay, go ahead and do your thing, what would the contract say to
Well-
maintain the mural? You know, because the light fades it and, you know,
Good point.
and weather could mess it up a little bit, so, you know, it has to be
Absolutely.
maintained.
And one of the provisions or one of the precepts of the association is, or the society is, that we maintain murals in perpetuity.
Okay,
And we do that by reserving 10% of the funding for future maintenance of a specific mural.
gotcha, yeah.
Perpetuity is Charlie's age.
Yeah, did I know him?
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for perpetuity. And since you've been working a lot for him lately, Tommy, that will be in perpetuity as well, yes. 8:19 in the morning on this Wednesday, the 14th day of November, Ron Norsell's here. Now, with the murals coming up, you got the sports mural, you're doing the sculling, then comes the tennis, and then the
Tennis.
hunting, and then the golf.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk a little bit about the golf mural, which is my love, and we'll be back after that, because I know you do. Well, let's take a phone call first. Good morning. Are you talking to me or Ron? Yeah, I have been, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and
Well,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you remember though, we had a couple of them destroyed by Hurricane Charlie. Yes. Well, the African-American one that was on the side of the bail bonds company, right by where the post office was, that was demolished, but you guys redid that one.
yes, we did that at the education center, but just to be specific, we lost 10 murals
Did you
to
really?
Charlie.
We got one too.
Yes, we have walking guides. Stop by the
Chamber of Commerce.
Punta Gorda Chamber, and you can pick up a walking guide. There's several around town, or you can just simply plug in www.pontagordamurals.com, and you can download it right from the website.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, thank. Yeah, ancient, you were there when the Vanderbilts moved in, I know. Yeah, I know. Good morning, everybody, time for weather right now.